This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. Oklahoma schools are working to deal with a recent change in state test scoring. This comes after the Oklahoma Department of Education changed its scoring method, but didn't announce the change. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to the Miami School District about how they're handling the situation.
Level 0 is perfect, guys.
The Oklahoma Department of Education lowered its state cutoff score for what's considered proficient. This caused a jump in students who were considered proficient, a misleading increase.
But to the general public and the parents, it's deceiving because it looks like, oh, my child is right on target, they're doing great. But when you lower those cut scores, it might not be as great as it seems.
She says this change wasn't originally disclosed to Oklahoma school districts, and she doesn't know the exact reason that it was changed.
I don't know all the reasoning. We really weren't communicated that the cut scores were going to be lowered, and so that's kind of why everyone's in limbo, awaiting an answer.
Miami Public Schools say they look at OPI scores yearly, which can give a more accurate representation of student progress. They also say these test scores are not the sole indicator of student success.
We've had about 100 internships, and that wasn't a thing that was happening here 4 years ago. So seeing that growth is very important.
Performance index, which is the OPI. And so we compare students' test scores that way rather than by their proficiency or basic or below basic. That's how we look at it because that's the true measure of growth.
Looking at OPI instead of the state's cutoff scores is how Miami schools track their student growth. By doing it this way, Douthit says they've seen a 10-point increase in scores. Iverson and Douthit say communication and transparency are important, so that the schools can do their best to meet the standards of the State Department. Reporting in Miami, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The Assistant Superintendent of Miami Schools says they emphasize measuring success by preparing students for life after school. That's why they offer opportunities and leadership and internships.